Welcome guys to your 30th tutorial of C++, and in this tutorial, as I promised, I'm going to tell you about constructor. Now, constructor is something that gets called automatically when you create an object of any particular class. Like for example, we have this class crab. Now, if I create an object of crab here, like crab ob1, then as soon as I write this statement and I compile it, as soon as the compiler comes across this statement, it goes and calls the constructor of this class. The constructor of this class is executed, and whatever statements are in there are executed without you doing anything with this object. I mean, you don't have to separately call the constructor with ob1 dot constructor and whatever that is. It gets called automatically as soon as we create the object. Now, to create a constructor, I mean, you might not be pretty clear what constructor is, but just follow along with this tutorial, and at the end of this tutorial you'll get clear what and how constructors work. So to create a constructor, what you do is you just write your class name, right? Remember, the name of the constructor should be same as your class, and then it's like a function, so we insert those two round brackets, and between these two curly braces, whatever you do and whatever statement you write, it gets executed automatically as soon as you create the object. So let's just see out. This is the constructors begin. Alright, one more thing, always put your constructor under public, alright, because it gets called by an object that is created here. So you have to make it public so that that object could access that constructor. Just make it public, and now we have created a constructor. Its name is same as the class name. Remember, if you put anything other here, it won't work because constructor is identified as its name is same as the class name. Alright, so we just created object here. We didn't call any function or constructor here, but just see what happens when we build on this. Says this is the constructor speaking. So you understand it, right? We just created the object, and just by creating the object, this constructor gets called. You don't have to do anything to call the constructor. Alright, so now people don't usually even print out statements like this inside the constructor. Well, you can do that, but people usually use constructor to assign values to the variable. I mean, you can pass in here some values like let's first make a constructor. We can pass integer values like x and int y, and in here we could assign a equals to x and b equals to y. Now if we pass in values with the constructor, then those values will get assigned to a and b. So let's just pass in values. For passing in values, after writing your object name, just insert the values. I'm going to insert 4 and 7. So for verifying that, we made a function here add. So let's just call out that function, and 7 plus 4 is 11. So that function should output 11. So just print out ob1 dot add with empty parameters, and I think we're good to go. So let's just build in on this, and I didn't got any error, and it indeed said 11. So this is pretty much clear about constructor, right? They're just used to perform any task that you want to perform as soon as the object of the class is created. You just name it same as the object of the class, and it just gets called automatically. It can assign values to different variables, or it can call a function also. So let's just call add with empty parameters here, and let's see what happens. So just check this out, and if we run this, it says 11 automatically. Alright, so we can perform a bunch of stuff. We can call some default functions that we want to be called as soon as the object of that class is created. You can do a hell lot of things with the constructor of that class. So that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.